Okay, so what we're working on today is a Amazon Kindle Fire HD. Looks like, from what I can tell, there's a couple different models of these. This one is actually the model number is a p48wvb4, and it's a little bit different in the back, but I think it's pretty much same thing going on. So what we have today, of course, as you can see, is works fine, just broken glass. So I'm gonna show you how to replace the digitizer, also the front glass. That's what the digitizer is. So gonna do a quick video and show you how to replace it. What you're gonna need is something to split the case. I like using the metal pry tools, but you gotta know your limits with them, because you could easily break something. So if you're not sure and you've never used one of these before, or you're not had enough practice, there's also these plastic ones a lot of people use and they work just fine. So we're gonna go ahead and take this thing apart. Also, you're gonna need a Torx screwdriver, small one, for taking the screws out for the circuit board and some other things we'll see in the video here. So first thing to do is go ahead and shut it off, and let's see, and we'll just start prying around the edges. What you do is just go ahead and get in there where you can with the pry tool. Be careful that you don't break it. Just find a spot where it slides in easy, and once you get it in there like so, you just start popping it up. Once you get to a point where you've got a certain amount popped up, you can actually get your finger. See, I've got it started to get popped up. You can put your fingernail or something else in there and actually get it, hold it open while you're prying, which actually helps a lot faster getting it popped up. So take your time with it. If you haven't done this before, or you haven't opened anything before, just go ahead and take your time with it, not to break it. Some of them are, tricky, and some of them get stuck. So we'll go ahead and pop this open. You can also use your fingernail. That's why I grow my fingernails out long. Helps with getting stuff loose. I just slide it along there. So now we've got it open. As you can see, we've got the battery, circuit board here, speakers on the side here, and then we've got our power button, which is over here, and also our charge port, which is over here, which we'll be taking those out. So first thing you want to do is disconnect the battery. That's this connector over here, and you can just pull it out, wiggle it out slowly here. Once that's out of the way, I'll zoom in a little bit, see if we can see better. There you go. Once that's out of the way, you're gonna have two screws here and here, and those are the Torx screws, so you're gonna go ahead and pull those out. There's a connector here. If you pop up the little keeper, you just pull the charge port right out of there. So Go to the other side, and on the other side that's actually the headphone jack. Same thing, you got a screw here and a screw here. And go ahead and take that out. Sometimes these are a little tight and these Torx don't want to go in there. So go ahead and take both those screws out. And with the same thing, you want to go ahead and release the keeper, which is like a little keeper for the pop it up for the ribbon cable. Just pull it out carefully and put that with your screws that you pulled out. So now we've taken out the headphone jack and the charger jack. We're going to go ahead and over here there's going to be screws along the back side here. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 along there. We also need to pull out these two for the speakers and get the speakers out of the way, and then we're going to pull the frame ones out. So first we'll go ahead and pull these ones out. Hopefully they're not too stubborn. Might use my other one here. It's getting worn out. Now some people need to put their screws in a certain order, so if you need to do that, take the time and make sure you don't get them mixed up. I've taken so much stuff apart now, I kind of remember where everything goes. So if you have a problem, take your time and make sure you sort it out and don't get the screws mixed up. I try not to usually speed up my videos. I know a lot of people speed them up while they're unscrewing, but I want to give you time to be able to do it yourself while you're watching, and hopefully that helps you. So I've taken out these 5 screws back here. I'm going to work on taking the screws out of the speakers, just to make sure we're disconnected. And actually, if I remember right, just this side speaker needs to come out. I had trouble with it hanging up over here before. The other one can stay in, but as you can see, there's going to be frame screws. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frame screws, and we need to get those all out. So there's 5 here and 5 here. I also pulled the speaker out just because I've had it hang up in here before, but just go ahead and take those 5 screws out. Now if this glass wasn't broken, I would probably put this on some kind of padding, but I'm not going to hurt the glass any more than it is. When I do put the new piece on, I'll slide something under there where you can see. So once you get these 5 screws off the bottom and the top and that speaker, you should be able to, and we'll see how this goes. You should be able to pull the whole thing up. Oh, actually, we actually have 2 screws. One for the frame here, one for the frame here. I always forget those. If you can't see, we have one here and one there. So pull those out. And anytime you're pulling anything apart, like the frame and the circuit board, always pull gently, because you might forget something, like those 2 screws, and you don't want to force things because, well, they break easy. So okay, so these connectors, we're going to disconnect these ribbon cables. Same thing, they have these little keepers in here, and you can just stick something in there and pop them open, or I just use my fingernail, just pop them back. Not that big of a deal. And then you can just move the ribbon cables out of the way, just like so. Get underneath them. Be very careful with ribbon cables, they're very easy to break. Now what we're going to do is just slowly lift it up, and this whole frame and circuit board assembly should come out all in one piece, and we can set this aside. Now what we have left is we have the LCD screen and the digitizer. That's pretty much all that's left. So we're going to take out, looks like 4 screws. We got one on this flange, one down here, one over here, and one down here. So we'll take those out. And of course, oops. Need a better screwdriver. These cheap little screwdrivers, you gotta replace them every once in a while. They get stripped out. Now this is my first tutorial video, so hopefully the ones after this will be better. I'm not used to working on things while having a camera in my face, so. Alright. Last one. Now the best thing to do is to not touch the LCD screen. If you do, you can clean it off with like a microfiber rag, or I use Windex, but you can clean it off if you get fingerprints on it. I just try my best not to ever touch the LCD screen. Now if you get your fingernail or your pry tool underneath one of these flanges, you just grab it and you can pull it right out of there, and just you can touch it on the sides, on the bottom. I just try not to touch it. I don't feel like cleaning it, and sometimes it's hard to get all the smudges out, so we're gonna set this aside somewhere safe. And here is our broken digitizer right here with the cable for it. So now I'm gonna get the new one, and we're gonna put it in and put it back together.